Hey guys, welcome back to the Confirming RM YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, getting ourselves back into another 2-minute technicals video here looking at XRP and Bitcoin. Yes, hi, welcome back. It's been a little bit of time since we have been together, about 5-6 days. I keep getting sick, not very fun. But anyways, now it's time for us to break it down, look at some markets, and see what's going on with crypto. So, XRP just looks like it's just consolidating in this range here. Nothing too crazy. Just testing upper bounds and lower bounds. Couldn't get through that 2618 here on the 8th. Came back down for support. Sitting here around, that 702, but holding that region we had wanted, about 60 cents. Obviously, like I said, you guys could wick through it, but I expected it to be a support, and it continues to be. But just meandering in here, it looks like it could meander in here until the first week of 2024. You know how we do that right here. That sort of target you're looking at. 78 cents got here to the 702 here, and then a full extension would be from the beginning of the region, which we actually have to extend this out a little bit, just like that. How I'd be looking at this one. So 3 targets, getting to that 83, 78, and 74. So those 3 targets are possible, looking there at the first week of January. But regardless, we see XRP holding above that one, getting wedged between the 1618. It's making positive headway regardless. Zoom in here, looking at the RSI. Yeah, you were losing some steam. Made sense. We couldn't continue on the trend that we were moving on. So the volume is dwindling off, going sideways, and now the next move will have to consolidate over the next week or 2 weeks, and then we'll see that another push. But regardless, getting over here to BTC, kind of what I had expected, blowing off to the 3618. You couldn't get through it, came back for support on top of the parallel channel. I mean, there's nothing more to say about that except exactly what you see in front of your eyes. It's good to see that back test. It's a good, healthy back test. That's what we had kind of expected, everyone. Obviously, kind of freaked everyone out when we started closing below on these 4-hour candles below $41,714. And now we're still holding above it, just barely, as you can see. But what we can do is kind of zoom in too. We can actually see what that pattern would look like if it wound up falling. So you can just grab that, go from the top half here. I would draw this line here. You can see it's going to make some sort of break. Was it Tuesday of next week? Yeah, Tuesday next week looks like it'll be doing something. You'll say from this region onwards, you're going to come back down to the middle of the parallel channel here around 40,500. Or we're going to try retesting that region on Tuesday again to 44,317. At the moment, kind of a little bit too early to call. I want to see if this MACD can start to push itself along, because this is a pretty big candle. It's about even with what we had over here as a correction through the 13th and through the 1st of December. Lines itself up higher than this one, lines it up with about these ones over here. So could it be the end? Yeah, but we'll see how short-lived that is. But regardless, we're going to want to see that start to curtail and kind of move its way back upwards and give us some positive volume for Bitcoin, because at the moment, if it stays looking like this and starting to rebound like this, we would be expecting the latter half. So you'd see that original target, and then down there to around 39,000. I wouldn't write it off as a non-possibility, because typically you want to backtest a region that you broke out of. Excuse me. And that region we broke out of was this long one right here, as you can see, from November 8th all the way until December 1st. I mean, that's almost a month. But we also had the other ones over here that showed it as a support. So perhaps we have to come back down there and just close that gap. I mean, this gap is from here to here. You have about a 10% gap. I mean, obviously that would freak people out, but I mean, it makes sense to me if it had to come back for support here in the 1618 after that full reach out, or maybe it decides to do that reach and then falls back down. One of the two. But regardless, it needs to do one of those in order to continue onwards. I would say out of healthiness, this should back test. You really, really should. At least this 39,148 that would be a good idea. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to. You guys know crypto likes to just make an idiot out of people sometimes. But I would say that could be something. You could see right here, the here to here, the actual width of the channel. If it were to break that, it'd bring us right back down to that region. Literally smack dab, wick a little bit further through it. But you would see. So that might be a possibility for Bitcoin within the next 2-3 weeks. And then give maybe the altcoins a time to shine. But I don't know. Bitcoin taking that large of a hit would be pretty detrimental for short term. Everyone would be freaking out, screaming, $12,000, but for Bitcoin. But that's just something just to kind of keep in your mind. If we were to maybe give ourselves a small Fibonacci like this, from high to low, which would be from here to here, you can see holding above 41,900, 41,260, still in like this trend at least. But as soon as we start seeing ourselves fall below 41.2, I'm expecting 39. Yes, I had a 40 and basically at a dot, and yeah, that 39 correspondingly. But just giving you those, you can see we're losing ourselves on the RSI here. It's still overbought. I mean, by quite a bit. I mean, by 57, it's supposed to be a 50. So you just gotta keep your head on the swivel. We're at an interesting spot. You're just playing the ranges, especially here, especially XRP can play the range. BTC, I mean, not too much of a range to play at the moment. If you really wanted to see if you can play a range, it'd maybe be like this. But even then, that's still not too crazy of a range. I mean, the lowest it'll show it is 41. But it's a nail biter. We're in a nail biter situation. Seeing how we decide, because I don't know if you guys know, if we go to DJI, the DJI set a new all-time high. I mean, just barely, as you can see, if we were to give ourselves that, about 1.06%. But usually, in order to get Bitcoin all-time highs, you need to be seeing the Dow Jones hit a new all-time high, and that's exactly what happened. So, does that necessarily mean that Bitcoin's going to go flying out into, the moon? I mean, no. But we've never had a Bitcoin go flying out into an all-time high without the DJI doing this. So the possibility of stuff happening is definitely a lot higher now that DJI has done this. But there's only that one possibility of a short squeeze, and then we wind up seeing the tumble of everything, because it's not that high on everything at the moment, as you can see, only 1% higher. So we're going to see how the next, the end of the year plays out with DJI, because Bitcoin should be hitting, it should be moving, I guess, with the statistics of that, of having a new all-time hit here. DJI is around 45-60 days afterwards of Bitcoin starting to push. So you got two scenarios: Bitcoin going sideways, XRP and altcoins going sideways, DJI hitting all-time high. You kind of have all the catalysts for us to go higher, but it doesn't mean the short-time things can't just consolidate a little more before we start seeing that sort of inflow into crypto. As you guys heard, I don't know if the trillions and billions of dollars that are on the sidelines because of the 10-year treasury bonds, not being so great. So you have a lot of capital waiting on the sides to get pumped into the market. So there is that possibility. But just giving you guys that upside, because 2024 could definitely be interesting. Some people calling for just not astronomical things, but I try not to listen to the craziness. I don't like listening to see what people. I really don't like listening to all BlackRock and Wells Fargo and everyone like that talking about what their predictions are for the SPX and NASDAQ and such. They have their own corporate greed for the reason why they do that. 9 times out of 10 they're wrong, and I just like to listen to little guys like us that have a different view on the market. But this is just the one catalyst event I really wanted to highlight with everybody. This is important. We were talking about this for a while. We were talking about getting this high, and even gold I know is the same way. it's definitely crazy. I mean, the Nasdaq really hasn't moved at all, but the Nasdaq is in the middle of its own thing. But it broke out, so I think maybe the Nasdaq might be on its way. Usually it does follow, but let's just see what happens, guys. Just keep your head on a swivel. Enjoy the holidays. Don't stress out too much. You might see some liquidations of certain things. People are making up for taxes at the end of the year, as you guys know. But hope you guys are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Appreciate every single one of you. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Appreciate you for sticking around. Appreciate you guys for being around all week. Sorry I didn't upload because being sick. Yep, sorry about that. Well, it wasn't scripted. Have a good one, guys. And I'll see you as soon as I can on the next one. Bye, guys.